Hello and welcome back to the Big Lad podcast. This is episode 9 and today I'm joined with my friend Anna. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. Being better.
Yes. You messed up already. It's going to be a long podcast.
Fantastic.
I'm just glad this is at the start so I can edit it.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll get there.
How are you doing?
So this happens every time someone asks me how I am. I just start laughing. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm Gucci. It's Wednesday, halfway through the week.
Exactly.
The weekend. So
Hump days, yeah.
Days here indeed. How are you, George?
I'm not too bad. A bit fed up of lockdown at the moment. Yesterday marked a year of me working from home. So that was a little depressing date, I guess.
A celebration.
I did, yeah.
Chin yourself.
I had a bit of a desk party by working from home.
How'd that go? Did you have some snacks?
Yeah, the usual protein bar. That's about it.
Come on, you should have. It was a special occasion.
Should have gone all out.
It up a bit, yeah.
Saving it for the weekend. Yeah. It's my birthday on Sunday, so.
Is it?
Yeah, hitting the big quarter century.
Second one.
My second lockdown birthday. So, smashing life.
What are you doing for it?
Nothing really. Might go for a walk.
Oh, with your protein bar.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not really much to do, is there? So I'll have to just get creative, I guess, and play some board games.
By yourself, or?
I might include the family.
Might see how you feel.
It's my birthday. Yeah. It's my birthday at the end of the
day. I mean, if you include them, they're going to just take the spotlight away from
exactly.
you. So
it's my day.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
off track.
A little bit off track. So today we're going to be taking a little bit of a different route. We're going to go away from fitness a little bit and speak about what it's like living and working in a foreign country. So I guess, first of all, for the listeners at home, obviously I already know, whereabouts in the world are you living and working right now?
So I'm currently living and working in the south of Spain. My job is in Gibraltar, but I live in Spain. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny one, but it's different.
Yeah, it sounds definitely different.
Yeah, when I was going to work, I was having to cross the border every day from Spain to Gibraltar. So I'd have to I would park my car up in Spain, and then at the start I was walking, and then I got like a little electric scooter. And then I had my passport, so I would literally go across, go through my scooter, show my passport, then go through, and I'd technically be in the UK.
Right.
And then I would leave in the evening and go back to Spain.
So you were technically in the UK, whereas we were actually in the UK.
So yeah. I mean, it is
just summing it up.
Technically the UK. We have a Morrison's and a M&S, a hotel chocolate. Yeah, we've got the lot.
We've
even got the red post boxes as well.
Get you.
I know.
Fancy.
So away from home.
Not quite.
Not quite. No.
Not quite.
It'll do.
You've got a few shops and a post box on a big rock.
I mean, when COVID's around, it's the closest I'm going to bloody get. So.
True. So, what actually made you move to Spain in the first place, and how long have you been there for?
So basically what happened was I graduated from university, and my dad lives out here and has done for years, because I actually grew up out here when I was younger. And I was out here in the summer that I graduated visiting him, and I was applying for jobs in London, I was applying for jobs in Gibraltar. And I was like, I kind of want to go to London, but then at the same time, I was like, I do want to move abroad at some point, but I didn't expect it to lead to this. So I got offered some jobs in London, but they were all starting in the January, and this was in the September that I was applying. And I was like, look, I just need some money. I was paying for rent, I didn't have any income, and I was like, look, doing this. So basically, I got offered this job in Gibraltar, and I was like, okay, I might as well take it. And they were like, when can you start? And I was like, I don't know, 2 weeks. And they were like, yeah, perfect. 2 weeks, you're starting. And I was in Nottingham, and I was like, okay. I guess I'm going to have to arrange like a furniture removal company to take my stuff and book my flights because I'm moving country in 2 weeks. So yeah, I left, and that was at the end of September, and I started my work on the 7th of October 2019.
So you've been there for what, a year and a half now?
Nearly a year and a half, yeah, or a year and a half, yeah. So it was strange. Like, I remember getting the flight, and like, obviously I've lived here before, so it's not completely alien to me.
Yeah.
But I left here when I was 10, so it's like a complete different experience, like living here as a kid to like living here as an adult and kind of being fully on your own. And I just remember being on the flight and it taking off from England and just seeing it disappear in the clouds, and I was like crying, and I was like, what did I make the right choice? But yeah, so it was very last minute and wasn't expected at all.
Sometimes though, those are the best situations though, aren't they? Just going with the flow as it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Because I very much like live by the fact that I'd rather regret the things that I did by the things that I didn't do.
Yeah, exactly.
So I easily could have come here, hated my life, like Spain is not for me, and I could have come back to England and got a job in London. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
EasyJet
it wasn't the
flights
end
are
of the
cheap
world.
enough.
Exactly, honestly. It's not that bad. And Brexit hadn't happened at that point, so it wasn't really like the end of the world.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
obviously you said your dad was already living there. Did you
Mhm.
actually know anyone in Spain beforehand, or was it sort of you were going alone sort of thing?
No, so I had like some friends. So when I was out here in the summer, I rekindled a friendship with like a really old friend of mine, and then I met some of her new friends, and then I saw some people that I hadn't seen for years as well, which was quite nice. So I rekindled a lot of friendships, but they don't live here full time because they're people I went to school with. So like they're in Madrid, or they travel the world, or they're in England, they're in wherever, like all over the world. So I only really get to see them during like Christmas, Easter, like family times when they come back.
Fair enough. So you say you sort of grew up there.
Mm-hmm.
So are you fluent in Spanish?
No, I'm not fluent in Spanish
You're
at
not.
all. Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately not. Which is so embarrassing because every time I'm like, yeah, I live in Spain, everyone's like, oh, so you must be fluent. I'm like, no.
Not quite.
And then I'm no. Like, no. Yeah, my parents put me in English school when I moved here when I was 2, so I just never learned it. And that's one thing I always say to my dad. I'm like, you dick. I could have been fluent if it wasn't for you.
So even in like the English school, they weren't teaching Spanish.
Well, it's just as much as like what you might do like for French in
Oh right,
England.
yeah. So like crap memory
So
tests that help
yeah,
nobody.
exactly. Everyone's like, bonjour. That's all you remember. I know
Can't string a sentence together, but you can put
baguette.
yes, say some French words.
Whip. I'm fluent.
So basically, when you go to a restaurant, you're still pointing at it and saying it sort of in an English accent
No.
with a bit
I
of a
feel like
Spanish twang.
I've got the twang down. So like when people ask me like, oh, where do you work? And I was like, this is gonna sound so bad. Like soy trabajar en Gibraltar, because I have to say like not Gibraltar because they don't say it like that. They say Gibraltar. So I have to like change the way. And then for instance, like with coronavirus, they say like coronavirus rather than coronavirus. So it's like I do sometimes change the way I say stuff just to save confusion.
It's got to be done, I guess.
Yeah.
However awkward it is.
Just to make life that little bit easier.
So, obviously, you said you can't really speak fluent Spanish.
No.
How have you found it making friends over there? Has it been easy because most Spanish people can speak a reasonable amount of English? Or
You'd be surprised, to be fair. No, it's pretty. People like can speak enough English to get by, but like the joke side of things, like you don't have the English banter with the Spanish people, so that is lacking. But funnily enough, I made a lot of new friends through Bumble. So Bumble BFF, not the dating side.
Right, okay.
No, so Bumble BFF. Yeah, please, anyone be my friend. So there's the dating side, which has actually been like a godsend. So my friend who moved to Berlin recommended it to me, and she was like, it's a really good way to meet other girls in your area and stuff. So I was like, okay. So I tried it, and I met got like 4 friends from it. Now, one of them only lives here, but like now full time, but the rest of them left. But I know that they'll come back in the summer, and I'm also keeping in contact with them like all the time. So I know when I'll see them again soon once COVID, like leaves.
Hopefully it's soon.
Hopefully soon. So yeah, it has been difficult because you're limited, definitely. But you've got to put yourself out there. I think whenever you move like to a completely new place, you can't be an introvert.
Yeah.
You can't just sit at home and obviously it's been hard because you've been in COVID. So yeah, I think it's good. And also I use Instagram. I slid into some people's DMs like, hey, I see you live in Marbella.
I'm
Babe,
lonely. You look lonely.
Let's go.
Let's be friends.
Kind of actually how it went. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm always looking for new people to hang out with. How about we go for a coffee? And it actually worked out a few times. So I always got positive responses. So
that's good. But so what are the plans then? Are you going to actually try to learn Spanish at some point?
Yeah,
or are you just gonna
No, I need to, because I really want to move to like Madrid or Barcelona to work.
Yeah.
And there are some jobs where you don't need to know Spanish, but I love the Spanish culture. I love the Spanish people. Sometimes they can also be very frustrating in the way that they think and they do things. You can ask me that afterwards if you want. But I love them. Like, it's a great culture. They're lovely people. They have great fun. I really enjoy living here, and I can't imagine coming back to the UK. So I do need to learn it, but it's just difficult when you're not around people. No, the UK's good, but I didn't grow up there, so I've never felt like it was home kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll let you off with that one. Yeah. So you say that the cultures. It's all right. So you say that the culture's like a bit different. How is it different living in Spain to the UK?
Just there's no structure, especially in Andalusia. Like, there's literally no structure to anything. So say if you want to go somewhere and you're like, I'll check the opening times on Google. Open, fantastic, you get there, closed. Like, they have their siestas from like 2 till 3, so everything's closed. On a Sunday, no like supermarkets are open, no like stores are open, like everything is closed apart from like bars and restaurants. And gyms normally don't open till 9, and then they close.
When are you ever there? When are you ever there before 9?
No, actually, I always go in the morning.
On a Sunday?
Okay, maybe not, but still, this is throughout the week. They open at 9. Like, it's really like, so you can't go before work. Yeah. And it's just like, if you have a problem with anything, it's like, mañana, like tomorrow. It's not today's problem. Today, I'm gonna go for a vino or a caña. Like, I'm gonna go for a beer or wine. Like, that's not my problem.
Teaching us some Spanish as well while we're on the podcast.
You're welcome. God, it's all a journey of learning Spanish with me.
So we've got wine and beer so far.
Beer, gracias.
The only things you need.
Actually, no, I'm not going to teach you that one because that's just going to be weird.
Okay, we'll save that one for after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers. But yeah, like, I spent most of my childhood going to Spain on holidays and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
whereabouts did you
go? Like a small seaside town.
I lied. I've never been.
No. We spent most of our time at like a small seaside town, sort of between Barcelona and Valencia, sort of slightly close to Valencia. So it was like very Spanish. There wasn't many sort of English people or anything there. So yeah, I definitely understand the whole laid back thing and things being shut on weekends and everything like that. But like, we were always the ones on holiday where like everyone would go home for a siesta and we'd still be out in like the midday sun playing footy in the pool and everything.
And then we just like a fucking prawn.
Oh yeah,
like red prawn.
Like, you can see how like pale I am from just this camera. The light doesn't help.
Like, filming it from heaven.
But yeah, like, I definitely understand the whole laid back thing. But is there anything else other than that side of things? Because I assume most people are aware of that from probably going holidays.
I think because like they are generally like really like really welcoming to English people in the sense that like they're not really rude. A lot of them are like I went skiing over the weekend for the day because there's a ski resort.
Yeah, I
close
found
by
that
to me.
proper mad, you know. It's like on your story the other day, it was like 20 odd degrees, and then like like a couple of days later, you were skiing. I was like, what?
Yeah, there's a ski resort like 2.5 hours away from me. I mean, it's not the best snow, but it's still, I have the option. So yeah, just popped up there for the day for a quick ski,
Just for a little jaunt.
just for a little whoop, and then straight back home. And the 2 times I've been, when I've like been getting my skis from the rental place, and I'm just like there with my broken ass Spanish, like just trying to get by. And he's like, no hablo español. And I was like, no. He's like, oh, you don't speak Spanish? I'm like, no. And he's like, literally like why? Like, ¿por qué? And I was like, just give me my skis. Like, I don't want to be interrogated. But other than that, like they always ask you, like, you live in Spain, and why don't you speak Spanish? But
I'm
they're
lazy.
never really like horrible about it. Yeah.
I'm English,
like you guys.
and I'm lazy. Yeah.
Like these are like you guys. No, I'm kidding. I mean, they're not lazy. They're just very laid back. It's yeah. And also, interesting thing I found about the Spanish, on New Year's Eve, like when you do the countdown, they eat grapes, which I didn't know.
What?
They eat grapes.
Why?
So like when like it's like 10, 9, 8, 7, so they eat a grape, and it's like they can't miss it, because then it's like if you don't eat your grapes on time, then it's bad luck, and it's like going to be bad luck for the rest of the year.
So you've got 10
So, like,
seconds to eat 10 grapes.
Yeah. So or 12 grapes, sorry. I think it's like from 12, and then because it's like 12 like each month.
Oh right. Okay.
And like all of them get, so like obviously for New Year for us, we'll go out with our friends, get drunk. Where for them it's like very family orientated, so they will be with their family until 1 o'clock. Like there's no way around it. Like they have to be with their family to eat the grapes.
That's such a weird.
And then they go out afterwards.
Tradition. Like sure.
But I found it so interesting. I
like
didn't
the
know
amount of
it until
people
this
that
year.
must like choke on grapes trying to get 12 grapes down you in 12 seconds.
I didn't know there's actually been a few cases of that as well.
Either that or like someone's dropping one and thinking they're gonna have like a horrible year, just like breaking down.
Like, why did I do this?
I only had 11 grapes.
God, what's going to happen in December?
It explains everything.
I caused COVID. I didn't eat the grapes.
That's probably it. It wasn't to do with that bat in China. Someone missed the grapes.
The Spanish not eating the grapes. Yeah, honestly.
Absolute shocker.
So yeah, there's some facts.
I appreciate that, and I'm sure the listeners do as well.
I mean, everyone's gonna be like, search up on YouTube, and you can get.
I'm gonna Google that afterwards.
Live viewing.
I don't believe it. Someone's defo just had you off.
Like, oh, it's Anna.
Yeah, Anna, right. So we've got this tradition. Yeah, you've
just
been
to try and kill me, because like she'll choke on them.
Yeah. Give her the big grapes as well. She'll really struggle. Yeah. So, yeah, I've seen like your stories, and obviously we've chatted over the lockdown, and it seems to have been reasonably similar to the UK ones, with sort of things shutting down, opening back up, and everything. How's it been over there?
So at the start, it was like a lot worse than the UK. So when we first got told we were going to go into lockdown, I was in the UK actually, and I got back on like the Tuesday. Then we went down into lockdown on the Saturday, and basically everything was sold out of like toilet roll, classic. Everything was going, but they hadn't like announced it yet. They were like, oh, you know, we're gonna like maybe go into lockdown from Monday, but then they moved it forward to the Sunday, so we weren't allowed to leave our house, like even for a walk, like nothing. The only time you could leave outside was to take your trash out, or go to the supermarket, but you had to be one person in a car at a time, and you had to go to your local supermarket, so you couldn't go to any supermarkets far away. And that was on for I think 9 weeks. We were in our house. Were
you still going to work then, or did you have to work from home?
No, working from home. So it's like, I remember I had my wisdom teeth taken out on like the Thursday, and then so I was working from home on the Friday. So I took my laptop home, But like it was just a normal day at work on Wednesday, and then I haven't been back in the office since then, and that was a year ago as well, same as you, working from home for a year. So yeah, it was crazy. And then when we were allowed out, I've never been so thankful. Like honestly, that day felt so surreal when we were allowed out of the house for a walk. I literally felt like a dog that had been kept inside for 9 weeks. I was like straight out. I was like, air. So it was good. But then everything opened up from then, and then we basically in the summer, nightclubs were open like till 3
Yeah, I was
a.m. Like
so
I would go
jealous when I
in
was
like
seeing
no
that.
masks. Yeah, I
You
remember
put
going
like
in with
stories dancing on like a table or something. I was like, I'm sat here.
that was when we had restrictions again though. In the summer, like July, I remember going into a nightclub in Portugal and literally going in with my mask on, and no one had a mask on in there. It was crammed, like shoulder to shoulder. Everyone's dancing, smoke machines, photographer. And I was like, did I just make up this whole pandemic or something? Because this isn't normal. And then yeah, just and tourists were here. Like it was not as busy as normal, but normal life it felt like. And then since then, they started cramming down on things. So it's been a bit like this,
Yeah.
but not as bad as when it first was.
Yeah, like the closest I got to a dance floor was sat on a table with my 5 brothers. 5 brothers.
That's a lot.
We were all from the same household, apparently. Yeah, so we were all like sat on the dance floor with table service. Just like, this is shocking. But I did that pretty much every weekend when things opened up a little bit. Like we went out like every single weekend because we were like, we don't know when it's going to shut down again.
But could you like dance next to your tables at all or not?
No, you had to sit down the whole time. The only time you could get up was to go to the toilet, and you had to put a mask on to go to the toilet.
I guess that's because
but like it was all the nightclubs in Liverpool. So basically, what they did was all the nightclubs just put tables and chairs on the dance floor, and you'd all just like it'd be open to like normal time. So like I think one of the first weekends I was out to like 4:30, but I was sat on a dance floor the whole night.
I mean, better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah, that was it. Like at the time, it was better.
With the 5 brothers, I mean, good laugh, you know.
Yeah, we're really close as well.
Yeah.
All like
all the same?
roughly the same.
Or...
Oh yeah. We're spit an image. Yeah, spit an image.
Got 5 of you just on one day. Christ.
Well, I have got 3 younger brothers, but I mean, one of them's not old enough to go out yet. So
these were your 5 older brothers.
Yeah, so I'm no longer the oldest. I've got 2 older brothers.
How'd that happen? Did they just surpass you? Like no longer the oldest? Like
I just
stopped aging, and then they just kind of caught up. And
I don't know. It just I think we're going a bit off track.
Can't be explained. Yeah. I was going to say the one thing that you guys don't have, which we now have, is curfew.
Yeah.
So we're not allowed to be out of our house like on the street between the hours of 10 and 7.
10 at night and 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
See, that's decent. That like if you went out for like a day session, a weekend.
That's deep. I mean, I'm not allowed to go for a fucking walk. I'm literally not allowed to go outside.
Yeah, but like
I'm not allowed to drive. I'm not allowed to do anything. So if I'm at someone's house, like to see my friends in the evening, I can't go home. I'm going to stay.
What, past 10?
Yeah. So if it's past 10 o'clock, I can't get in my car and drive home.
You just have a house party then?
Well, that means I'm going to stay there, isn't it?
Yeah, then you get up.
I'll have my own bed.
Get up, go for a walk down the beach, freshen up. Sorted. Don't know how lucky you are with that with that weather.
I mean, it's not always. Oh, actually, if you say this weather, look at this video. All right, if I can show you, because when it rains here, it rains.
Yeah,
obviously, for anyone listening, they can't see this video, but trust me,
it's really rainy.
Basically, a road got swept away. Let's see. Kind of. There you go.
Oh, jeez.
This is at the bottom of my dad's street, and that's not even a river. That was literally just the fact that there was a ton of rain and it swept the road away. So when it rains here, it really rains. But
yeah, but when it's sunny, it's really sunny. So
yeah, to be fair, I got burnt on Friday. So
complaining.
Stars.
And that's a reminder to all the listeners to make sure you wear your sun cream.
Amen. Especially on your face and your chest. Especially to the ladies on the chest. Otherwise, they might get a wrinkly chest. I just said chest way too many times.
Bit nervous. First time on a podcast.
So those TikToks when you see when you're like,
So
sorry guys, I don't work well under pressure.
So during the lockdown, have you been living alone, or have you had like housemates?
So at the start of the lockdown, I was living with someone, and then that didn't work out. So then I lived alone for 6 months, and then recently I thought, you know what, I'm working from home. I was half an hour away from Marbella, so I was a little bit out of it. I was living in a bit of an OAP area, and basically where people go to retire when English old people to go to Spain. So I was living in that kind of area.
You can get loads of friends there then that speak English.
Oh yeah, wonderful. They're in bed by 9. I mean, to be fair, it worked with no restrictions, but yeah, so I was like, you know what, while I have the chance, I'm working from home, I might as well move to Marbella because it's like literally half an hour away. So now I'm living with one other girl that I met I met her through the website where she was advertising the room. And
is that going better than your last roommate?
Yes, a lot better.
Good.
It's nice as well because it's not like we're on top of each other, where in my first I know probably a lot of people can understand where I'm coming from, in the sense that if you're working from home in like a really small like apartment with someone else who's also working from home, and you both have the same, like you both have calls all the time, like you both want to cook, you both want to do everything, and like you literally just, because we couldn't leave the house, with like it's just too much. So now it's like quite nice because my new housemate, she works out of the house during the day, so I'm at home alone, and then in the evening I get to see her, and it's not like we're on top of each other.
And is that closer to Gibraltar as well? So like when you actually go back to work?
No, so if I
you've moved further away.
Yeah, because everything closer to Gibraltar is just boring unless I live in Gib, and Gib is just London prices, so I don't really want to live there. And no, so now if I wanted to commute to work and back, it would be about 3 hours a day.
Wow.
Where before it was about 2 hours, because it was like an hour there and an hour back, so I've added like an extra hour to my day by moving here.
That's nice.
Yeah, but
nice little treat.
The gyms are cool here. I like the gyms, and there's more young people.
Yeah.
And when things open up again, all the nightlife's here. So.
Well, when you go back to work, you can listen to my podcast in the car. Then there's plenty of time.
I know, got a whole hour.
Plenty of time.
I pushed.
Listen to my droning voice for an hour.
Going to work.
Cheers.
You should do a birthday special for your podcast.
Just get drunk and start recording a podcast.
Actually, that would be so hilarious.
Imagine.
I would tune in for that, please. Imagine. And you just playing board games on your own.
Do a birthday vlog.
That would be honestly.
Just
everyone at home is nodding their heads right now. Like, hell yeah, I would watch that.
Yeah, if they've got to this point, we're about.
Yeah.
How long in?
Everyone take a shot if you.
Yeah, you've got to watch it on a weekend. Don't be.
Yeah, no.
Friday night.
Can I get away?
Yeah, if you're still here in the comments.
Yeah. Can I get a hoya? Sorry.
So
I don't get to speak of people much, you know. So.
Going back to it, do you reckon it's affected your mental health in any way, being at home for so long?
Yes and no. I feel like it's been probably easier than a lot of people in the UK, just because we have had the chance to kind of like go out, and we have like, I know in the UK like things have been closed since like October, because obviously I'm speaking to a lot of my friends back home who are struggling, and it's really crap because obviously you guys can't go on holiday. Like if I want to leave, like I still kind of can, and like you said, at least I'm in the sunshine, so it's not like when the sun comes out it does really boost my mood. And So yes and no. I feel like things that have affected is just not being able to see my friends, kind of thing, in the UK.
Yeah.
Working from home every day, so like working from home alone can be really tedious and just repetitive, and it's just gets a bit lonely at times, which I'm sure those people like, relate to that. But I would say the worst time was probably in the first lockdown when it was 9 weeks. Like that was affecting me quite a lot, just because I was like self-reflecting a lot. Like I was really digging into like the things I like was doing wrong in my life, but like as in the areas I wanted to improve on. And I was kind of like just like deconstructing myself a little bit and realizing a lot of things about myself, getting deep, exactly, which I think a lot of people probably have done in this lockdown, and maybe are facing a lot of their demons maybe, and it's hard. But I do have ups and downs. Like the other day I was crying and I was ringing my friend. Like some days I have good days, some days I have bad days. Like I think it's with everyone in lockdown. It's funny how it affects everyone differently. And I don't know how I'm going to go back to like everyday normal life afterwards, because I've gotten so used to this new way of living.
It's going to be a lot, isn't it?
It's going to be strange.
Yeah, gonna have to take rest days. I'm gonna go back into like lockdown for a day.
Sorry, guys, it's just too much.
Can't come out tonight. I'm doing a day's quarantine.
I've got COVID.
No, it's just too much for me right now.
Yeah. I feel like being in a nightclub again, that's going to be.
Oh, I know. I can't wait.
Weird, but it's going to be good. But it's going to be really strange to be like surrounded by loads of people again, I think.
Yeah, but
do you not agree?
Gonna go full send though.
Well, but then that way you're probably like, I don't know where I am. I'm fine.
What virus? Gives a hug.
Everyone, group hug. You should wear a t-shirt saying free hugs. Not free hugs, free hugs. They're not going to give out free boots.
Are they still even popular anymore?
I don't know, maybe that's why you're trying to get rid of them. Get rid of your collection.
Oh yeah, that big collection of Uggs I've got.
Honestly, you think you could keep that one quiet?
You've outed me now.
Yeah,
Hopefully it's too late in the podcast and no one's still here.
No, I'm not having the negativity, all right? Everyone's still listening. They've got their popcorn.
They do.
They're on their way to work. Probably not. Maybe in Australia they might be, because they're normal life.
I'm a big Australian follower, yeah.
I thought you did, yeah.
Yeah, but going back to it, we digress so much on this. Going back to it, I think you said about like having the time to like reflect on stuff a lot. I think that can also be like a positive thing as well, because if you think about it, the amount of time, like spare time that we've got now through not traveling to work and not being able to go out and do things, it's probably like the best time to do it. And if there's stuff that you've wanted to do for ages, then it's the perfect time, because you've got more time than ever.
I agree, but then I also think that a lot of people are struggling in that sense, because I feel like you see so much stuff online and everyone's like, oh my god, how to have a productive morning, like how to do this, how to make the most of your day, and it's like how to like, it's not realistic. And I feel I even feel myself getting into it, especially on TikTok, when you see all these like, like my morning, getting up at 5, I'm doing this and I'm getting all these things done in quarantine and stuff, and it's like,
I think a lot of those videos though are done to make people look busier than they actually are. I bet you if you looked at the rest of their week, that was a 1 out of 7.
For the rest of the week I was like, I didn't wake up till 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't even shower today.
Like, people just do it for likes. Like, it happens all the time.
Yeah, but I do think it affects people, because they obviously see that and they're like, oh well, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing this, and then a lot of people are in a rut where they can't get out of it. Like I put up a story the other day just saying how like I've been in and out of a rut where I have a to-do list, and I'm such a planner. I love to do this. I love
I love a little to-do list.
And I just get up and I'm like, I look at it and I'm like,
not today.
And I was like, I can't. I was like, I just don't know what it is, but there's just like a dread, and I'm like, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I just want a nap.
Why don't you try dissecting that list into smaller lists?
Tried.
No.
Then I'll do one and I'm like, that's enough.
Successful day.
Exactly. Get my coffee. Yeah, so
It can wait till tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you said something like Borat, like, like gross. Very
I've got
nice.
so much editing to do on this podcast.
You haven't. Leave it in. It's organic.
But yeah, like, I think a lot of people as well, they compare themselves to these like social media influencers whose job it is to be on social media. Like, we both work like a 9 to 5 job, and then we do
Yeah.
social media on the side. Like, you've got to take everything that you do in your life into consideration instead of comparing yourself to someone else. It was a completely different day to you.
Because how do you find it though? Like, a question for you. How do you find it, like, managing kind of like your full-time job and making sure you've got enough content for your Instagram?
So a lot of people ask me this and they think I plan everything out. People think I plan everything out, and it's just like, oh, I'll post this today.
Okay.
To be fair, the post I put up today, which was, if anyone's struggling with pull-ups, go and look at it because you'll do pull-ups after it. I actually planned that one out. I actually planned that one out because I'd wanted to do it for a while, because I put a reel up the other week and a load of people were asking like, how can we do pull-ups sort of thing. So I was like, right, I'm going to make the video. And I hadn't done it for like a week to 10 days. So I wrote it down. I was like, I'm going to do it. But other than that, I'll literally, it'll be a case of I'm doing a workout and I'll just record it whilst I'm doing it. And then I'm in that much of a, like, I'm that good at editing. Well, I say I'm that good at editing. I'm a lot quicker than I used to be and more efficient, and I know what I'm doing. And I can just whack like something up in like half an hour, like fully edited and everything.
Yeah, it's decent.
So quite often, nothing's planned, to be quite honest. Like, I've got a whole list of YouTube videos I want to do, and I've just not got around to it because I've been getting drunk every weekend pretty much.
That's the thing, it's like when you finish your job, you're like, I can't really be bothered.
Yeah.
But then you leave it to the weekend, and then I want to do something fun.
Yeah, it's like I need help from like my brothers or whoever as well to like help me record them, like, because otherwise it's just going to be a camera stood still and me just doing stuff.
That's literally my problem, because I've got no mates, you know. So like,
exactly. Get on the old
anything
bubble,
I do, it's like, God, I'm just there like, you know, you've seen those like tripod things where you like put on your phone and then, like,
and it
follows
turns.
you around.
Yeah. I
need
one
of those. Yeah. Oh God, how sad.
No, but
they mates, and we've got the tripod for you.
They would help though.
It would really help. I mean, I might look a bit odd walking around in the gym with my fucking phone following me. Oh, sorry, pardon my French.
It's all right.
It's a safe place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like if I was walking around and I had that bloody tripod following me,
well, like, just as everything was shutting down last year, I started taking like my tripod into the gym, which I'd never done before, because like it takes up space, and obviously like, people who aren't used to social media and that start looking at you and like, what the fuck, like, what's he doing? So when it was a bit quieter and I was going later at night, I'd taken my tripod and it'd be all right. But then, I've got this one. I bought this, like a gorilla pod, so you can wrap.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Wrap it round. But even that's hard because it fell quite a lot. It's just not ideal.
Sad. He just wasn't really holding up.
No. So unless I'm with someone,
you shouldn't feel embarrassed to take your tripod into the gym, I don't think.
It's just the space it takes up, and then you've got to sort of like frame up like where you're going to be recording.
Yeah, that is. I remember doing
like,
that once in the gym.
Full on like angling it and everything. You're just like.
Yeah, and it's like people looking. Like, I remember there was one time I was like trying to like frame it up, and then there was like another guy on this machine next to the land, like the landmine, like I was going to do, and he just kind of like kept looking at me like to wait because he wanted to go back on the machine. And I was like, this is like don't really know what's going on here. So yeah, I do know what you mean, but at the same time, I don't really care.
But then the footage is
never that good.
You also get the people that walk in front of your camera and like they blatantly see you put the camera up and it's in plain sight. You press record, walk to the machine, and then they still have the cheek to walk past them. I'm just like,
imagine if you're like doing spots, you're not actually seeing the camera, then you watch the footage back later and it's just some guy.
It's happened to me so many times.
Just like his face is in the camera.
No, I've had that so many times and it is so annoying. But like the amount of people these days that start a fitness account as soon as they sign up to the gym, like surely people are used to it now.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's like, everyone is taking selfies in the gym or videos or something.
Well, this is the thing, though, isn't it? People start fitness accountants up, and all they have is mirror pics. Like, quite a lot of them don't post any
Right,
fitness
let's
content.
not just check mine. I feel like at one point mine was very much mirror pics because I have no mates.
Yeah,
And,
exactly. Like, it's
know,
hard.
yeah, a lot of mine are kind of mirror pics, not gonna lie. So you've just really
You're the type
insulted
of
me
people.
there.
Yeah, you're the type of people I'm having a go at here.
Yeah,
No, but
it's
like,
fine.
you know what I mean? Like, people should be more used to like having a phone or camera out in the gym.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like,
100%.
it's 2021.
Yeah, heard it here first.
Get used
If
to
you
it.
didn't know.
Then
It
now
is
you know.
2021.
Well, we've both had our accounts for quite a while, haven't we? When did you start yours up?
So I originally started mine in 2014, but I didn't really use it that much. So I started it and then didn't really use it, and then I didn't start using it properly until 2018.
Yeah,
No, the start of 2019. I think I started. No, yeah, the start of 2019. I started using it properly.
yeah, because I started mine the start of 2018, and I think I've pretty much been following you since you started.
Yeah, because there's definitely like a few people that like I've seen like that I know their faces from when I like really started using it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like you, like Amy, Taylor was one of them, and there's like quite a few others, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I always remember seeing their faces, and like if I go back on my old photos, like I'll see their comments and stuff. So I know that they've been there since the start, and likewise.
It's a big lab podcast squad.
Uh,
I'll send you the t-shirt and the hat and everything.
Please do.
Yeah,
I'll rock around Marbella with it. Like, oh my god, what is this podcast about? Check it out.
So before we wrap the podcast up, where can everyone find you on Instagram?
So if you go on Healthy Fit UK, you will find me on Instagram. And give me a follow if you fancy, but no hard feelings if not. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, you know what I'm saying?
If you're watching,
don't just awkwardly laugh at me.
If you're watching on YouTube, I'll put a link to Anna's profile in the description below. First of all, let me thank you for coming on the podcast. It has been an enjoyable conversation, to say the least.
Here's entertainment.
And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like. If you're new, subscribe. And we will see you in the next one.
And don't forget to comment as well. Tell us how much you loved it.
Bye, everyone.